Hello, Just Jax here and welcome to my channel. Epoxy resin, surprise Christmas mould. What's it gonna be? I'm not gonna say. I hope that it works. And I'm gonna try using the glow-in-the-dark mica powder. This one specifically, so I don't know why I'm pointing over there. And then I'm gonna paint it. If this works, it'll be really cool. If it doesn't work, it will still be cool, it just won't work how I wanted it to. So let me glove up. I am at the moment using Janchun Epoxy Resin, which I found really good. So let's see if it continues to be really good. From that set with these massive bottles, which is well handy because I need big bottles now, come with a load of cups, so that is also going to help. So what have we got? We want this one first. Make sure that that is exactly 50. Let me swap my glove because that one's been contaminated and I don't want to, especially when I've got nice big bottles like this, I don't want to set one off for the sake of a glove. And the gloves in the quantities that I buy them do not cost anywhere near as much as the resin does. Somehow I very nearly missed the mug. I'm going to swap my gloves again because I will forget. And then I will touch something. Now, this is a 5-minute stir job, so we're going to flash forward to stirring being done. Okay, I am going to add a bit of glow-in-the-dark mica powder. Now, the only thing I did different to what I normally do with this stuff, because usually it's perfectly clear at this point, is I didn't heat those bottles up. So I'm hoping that's not going to impact it. I guess we'll find out. It doesn't say you have to do it. It's just good practice because it makes it all run smooth and it gets a load of the bubbles out before you even put them, before you even start mixing them. It's like when I was heating this up just now, there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of little bubbles coming to the surface. Okay, I think I've got about as many bubbles out there as possible. So let's try filling this up and see if it works. I'm going to go and stick the heating mat because it's cold and hope that it does its thing. Alright, our resin is cured. We'll pop that out in a second. This is the one that I want to see. Let's just get this little excess off the edge here. And I want you all to see, because at the moment this is a surprise. Now, we've got quite a bit of bubbling on the bottom. But I was expecting that because, as I said at the beginning, I usually heat the resin up in a bowl of hot water. I didn't this time, only because all of my really, really big containers are currently in use for something. So we will in the future be able to do that. Let's try and get this little guy out. It's going to be a wrestle. Such a big head. Oh, Now it looks like it's wearing a hat. Oh, here we go. We are out. Oh, this poor little dear. It's so smooth and beautiful. Now it has come out of here absolutely fine. But this poor little thing, we're going to make... This is what we have now. I don't know if you can quite see on that camera. We'll come in close just so you can see what this mould actually was. Though I think you might be able to tell through the bits of it that you can see. He's got a tail as well, so he's not wanting to lay on his back. Oh, it's such a sweet little thing, but it has suffered. So here it is. It's a little tiny reindeer. Now, up here, absolutely fine. Same for up here, antlers fine. Then under here, we start to not go fine. Under here, look at this poor guy. Well, this answers the question that some of you would have already not had to be answered. This is what happens if you don't heat up your resin before you mix it. He's so pockmarked, the poor dear. I mean, I knew he was going to have some bubbles. Oh my goodness, I knew he was going to have some bubbles. I was just hoping that they'd all reached the bottom. But they haven't. It's pretty much any underside. So his little tiny hands are all pockmarked. Try and get that in focus. His little tiny hands are all pockmarked. His bottom is all pockmarked. And under his neck is all pockmarked. This poor little soul. We will redo him again in the future. And we'll do him right. He's still going to work right now for what I want to do with him. Because I'm not keeping him like this. This was the mould. Try and get that in focus. See how cool that is? Nice little features. Got some little spots on his head. So he's like a little Bambi style. Like Bambi meets reindeer. A rain Bambi. So yeah, he is cute. Always, always, always. Even if you have to just empty the sink and fill the sink up with hot water, heat your resin before you mix it. It makes such a huge difference. Well, this, curiously enough, was from the same batch, and it has little to no bubbles. It's got like one up the corner there, and like the odd little one here or there. Mainly just that one, really. Well, I think there's actually two there, like he's got a little buddy. This poor guy. Oh my goodness. I mean, obviously I wanted him to come out smooth as silk. But there's something appealing with seeing all those bubbles. Granted, I didn't want them to be on him. But they look so beautiful. That would add for... Obviously, I'm not going to try and replicate this, but I do like the bubbles in a weird, twisted kind of way. Perhaps we could turn him into a zombie reindeer because his face is falling apart. Well, I'm going to press on with my idea with him anyway, which was, oh no, I don't know now, because I kind of like, I'm going to paint him. I was going to paint like the vast majority of him and just leave like his little nose and maybe his antlers, and maybe like the insides of his ears. But I'm unsure now, so I'm gonna have a think about that. But this is a really cool mould. It wasn't one of the more cheap ones out there. I think this was £5 or £6. But when I saw it, I saw loads of different reindeer moulds, but I only saw one with this little detail, which you can see on him. You can't see his mouth so much because that's when the decay starts to kick in. I'm going to roll with the decaying aspect. He's still going to be cute. He's just going to be cute but plague-ridden. And yeah, just a quick peek on these. We'll do something with these in the future because I really like them. And that was just keeping the last little bit that was left in the bottom of the jug that I couldn't get out. And this is making me think of a tiny Groot head, just because of the way it's like chipping off at the top. So let's get the coaster out. Now I'm left with a question, because granted that one's shallow, so perhaps that's playing a part of it. These two have come out with completely different results. Like this is pretty much bubble free. It's got like on this side, yeah, on this side they're the only two bubbles and they're surface bubbles, so we could address them by putting a little drop in. So they're not the end of the world. This one has all the bubbles. Now I don't know if that's just like an additional bit of standing time, or the fact that this one is wide and shallow and this one's like shaped and deep. I mean, he doesn't, from what I can see, he doesn't seem to have any bubbles within him. They have all gone to the surface but stopped where there was like a ledge. Well, we're going to move that out the way for now, though that is really cool. We'll save that for another day, for another project. So we're going to be deciding what to do with this little guy. First of all, let's have a check, see if this has worked. I used glow in the dark. Oh, it's worked. And you know what? This is going to add. Perhaps this is a happy accident. We didn't want bubbles, but he's going to be a little glow in the dark guy. And even though I used pink and orange, he has a yellow glow. I'm thinking if I've got the colours to suit at least, I'm going to paint him with nail varnish. That's what I'm going to do. Right. My big bag, and tub I'm sort of keeping a bag in, of nail varnishes. The collection is growing. So what have we got here for this guy? If we're going for a bit of rot, we've got to consider greens. I don't think we're going to be using glitters. So let's get those out the way straight away. Put that over there. Potentially red, because we're thinking, and yellows, because we're thinking on the rot side. Possibly white. I don't think pink or purple. so we can take those out of the picture. Right, silver and gold, we can get rid of the silver and gold. We have a brown of such by the looks of it. Let's do a little, is a potential. Black and white, because they're just basics to have. Now, we'll get rid of that and that, and we'll keep the orange for a second. We don't need blue. So let's see what these ones look like. So we have this one, and this one. I don't think we're going to be using those two, given what we've got, but we might be using that one, so we'll put that one up there. So we have that one there, we have that one there, we have that one there, and that one there. The darkest brown maybe, or the fawny colour. So it can be a bit, you know, a bit unhealthy. We're going to be brave. Let's have a little look. It's going to take more than one coat. I think this is going to be a good idea. We are going to, I'll do a little bit down his back, but then we're going to flash forward to being done. I'm going to try and go around the tail. This is actually going to look pretty cool. It's going to be one of those happy accidents that you have in life every now and again. I had plans of painting him, I just didn't have plans of him having Nurgle's rot. So we will officially flash forward at this point. I'm going to put this paler one on like the soles of the feet and under the hands, but I don't think, oh, and the muzzle. But then the rest will venture back in. I will go round the backs of the ears too. Okay, our cute little reindeer is done. And we have made those bubbles work for us. Let me put the mould over there for a second. We'll see if we can charge this up enough for when I turn the lights off. We'll see him glow. We'll get this ready actually, because this is going to be the best way to capture it. Let's get this going now. So whilst that's charging up, here's our little reindeer. I just went with the two colours in the end, and I've sort of gone over the bubbles a little bit just to try and catch, you know, where the mould is and not sunk into the bubbles. His little tail. Let's see if we can get him charged up enough. In fact, I'm going to turn the lights out now. Let's see if he's charged up enough. Turn this light off. And this light off. Check him out. He takes quite a bit to charge up. Let's try and get those bubbles. I mean, you can see them in this light. He is riddled. He's got the pox. There we go. How cool does that look? As like a happy accident. Our little Rudolph, the rad-nosed reindeer, had a very glowing nose. Let's bring him right to the edge so I can get right in his face. Let's hold this right there. Check him out. I may or may not come back to him in the future and like fill his ears in because they're not glowing a whole heap. But I'm going to leave his spots and his eyes. And I may or may not, if I bring him right forwards, because his little nose isn't glowing that much. A little bit, but not a lot. Well, get the light back on him. There he is. We decided we were going to make the bubbles work for us, but I will come back to him next year now, and we'll do him properly. Then he can have a brother or sister. Well, short and sweet, because there wasn't a lot to do with this one. It was fail curing him without any bubbles, roll with it anyway, because I like it, I like the feel and I like the way it looks. Even though we don't want bubbles, I actually like it. Looks so cool, even though they're not meant to be there. So that's something you can do if you cure something and it does not cure how you want it to. Sometimes just roll with it. Give it a little backstory. He's like a reindeer from the Fallout universe. He's a bit pock-ridden. He's a bit deformed. And he's totally touched with rads. So, thank you so much for stopping by and checking me and my channel out. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's given you some ideas and some confidence. Just roll with things if they don't work. Some things you can fix, some things aren't worth fixing, some things take on a life of their own. Like if you like what you see, comment if you've got something to say, and subscribe if you really like what you see and you want to see more and know when it's coming. Thank you all again so much. Take care, and see you in the next one.